Hey everyone, this is Michael again, and welcome to the Monday Night Raw review. Monday Night Raw tonight was from the Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse in Cleveland, Ohio, and the show just ended. And this is the fallout show from Royal Rumble, which was this past Saturday. Which I only watched the men's Rumble, didn't watch the whole show, but I enjoyed the men's Rumble. Of course, Jey Uso ended up winning, and he is, this year's men's Royal Rumble winner, which was very unexpected, though. But Monday Night Raw tonight, I thought it was a good show tonight. We are now building towards the Elimination Chamber, and we had two Elimination Chamber qualifying matches tonight. So tonight on the show, we had Penta in action, and he have taken on Ludwig Kaiser. We had the New Day, Xavier Woods and Kofi Kingston. They have taken on Rey Mysterio and Dragon Lee. And we had our two Elimination Chamber qualifying matches. The first one being for the woman. It was Liv Morgan. She have taken on Io Sky. And the main event, which was CM Punk versus Sami Zayn in a Elimination Chamber qualifying match. But overall, Monday Night Raw, good show it was tonight. But before I get into the review, just want to talk about this and be a rant. And this is not the only rant I'm going to be ranting about tonight. Wait until we get to Charlotte Flair. But this is the first rant. How many fucking glitches did we see tonight at certain points during the show? To the point where it became unbearable. Yeah, we saw glitches happening during the show tonight, and Netflix didn't even know or see that these glitches were happening during the show. Like, what the fuck? Netflix, fix this for next week's show. Please. At certain points during the night, it's like we're watching the show, and all of a sudden, it became an overabundance at the end of the main event of CM Punk and Sami Zayn. God, I know a lot of you were probably like, are your TVs acting up? No, it was Netflix, and everybody was tweeting out and saying, the stream is glitching tonight. Netflix, fix your shit. So it wasn't just me. It was a lot of other people too that were watching the show tonight and saw those glitches happening. Like I said, please, Netflix, fix this up for next week's show. Please. So that's a little rant on that. Wait until I get into my rant on Charlotte Flair winning the Women's Royal Rumble and her segment tonight. Oh my God. But let's jump right into the review. Monday Night Raw open up tonight with Mr. Yeet, Jey Uso. And he, of course, is your 2025 Men's Royal Rumble winner. He was out in the arena concourse. He was, of course, surrounded by the fans in the concourse. And he looked into the camera and asked the production crew to play his music. And he was clearly fired up. He was ready to go. Coming off that energy of him winning the Royal Rumble, which was very unexpected because it came down to him and John Cena, where WWE actually played with our emotions and thinking that John Cena was going to win the Royal Rumble. But Jey Uso end up taking the win, of course. But Jey Uso ended up making his way out. He made his way to the ring through the crowd. And, of course, we had a 10-minute entrance, with him just taking in the energy from the crowd there in Cleveland, just, partying it up with the fans there. And he got an incredible reaction. The whole entire arena was yeeing along with Jey Uso. And the shots of the crowd were very nice shots where they end up giving a stand ovation to Jey Uso, which he rightfully deserves. So Jey Uso grabbed the mic. The crowd ended up chanting one more time. So Jey Uso's music ended up starting up again, and he led the crowd into more yeeting. So Jey Uso ended up standing in the center of the ring. He had a mic in hand. The crowd ended up chanting, "You deserve it." And Jey Uso, from him winning the Rumble on Saturday and to the reaction that he got here tonight, you already know that he is so over with the crowd. Do I think that Jey Uso will probably face Gunther again at WrestleMania for the World Heavyweight Championship? Maybe. Will he defeat Gunther for the World Heavyweight Championship? It's a possibility. WWE should take the accountability on how big Jey Uso is and how over he is. If that win on Saturday did not signify how over he is, then I don't know what to tell you all. WWE should, look at this closely and see how huge and over Jey Uso is. And will they pull the trigger at WrestleMania to give Jey Uso the World Heavyweight Championship? So, Jey Uso removed his sunglasses. He looked all emotional. And you could tell that, he wasn't expecting the win on Saturday. So, Jey Uso ended up going to speak. The crowd started applauding him again. And we had Jey Uso end up saying, "Thank you guys for that." He ended up saying that he doesn't know what to say. The crowd ended up chanting, "Yeet." Jey Uso ended up saying, besides that, he wants to talk and rap. Jey ended up saying that he came to the game almost 15 years ago. He ended up saying that he tried to make a good living with his twin brothers while carrying their family legacy. And that they did it. And it was cool. He then ended up saying then you get to the pandemic era with his cousins and the bloodline. He ended up saying those are good chapters in his career. He ended up saying that he was scared and unconfident in his ability to be a singles competitor. He ended up admitting that he didn't have it. But coming out here, he's got it now. So Jey ended up saying that he worked really hard to get to this spot. And also, he really worked hard to get to this position. He ended up saying that he got here because of the people, the fans. So Jey Uso then thanked everyone from his heart and his family who has been with him every week. And you saw Jey Uso, he had tears coming out of his eyes. And he ended up saying because of them, he's the 2025 Royal Rumble winner. He ended up saying now he's going to WrestleMania in the main event. And it's just him, Uso. So then he got interrupted by Gunther, the World Heavyweight Champion. Gunther ended up heading out to the ring, and he did not look too pleased. Gunther then grabbed the mic. He started pacing the ring. He stared down at Jey Uso. Gunther ended up saying that he wants to offer his congratulations to Jey Uso. But for what? Gunther ended up saying that in reality, he's disappointed. He ended up saying that this possible matchup doesn't appeal to him and that Jay can't even lace his boots. Gunther ended up saying that he is the World Heavyweight Champion, and he learned box office and how to make the people think he's barely holding the championship. But the reality is, he's always in control. So Gunther ended up saying this time he refused to do this with Jey Uso again. So Gunther ended up saying that Jey Uso doesn't know what it means to hold the World Heavyweight Championship. Gunther ended up saying that he is in the process of building a legacy for himself. He ended up saying beating Jey at WrestleMania doesn't add anything to his legacy. He ended up saying that Jey needs to understand his expectations. Beating John Cena, Roman Reigns, or CM Punk would have added to his legacy. So Gunther ended up saying that the situation is clear. He ended up saying that Jey has everything to gain, and he has everything to lose. Gunther ended up saying that he has everything to lose. So Gunther ended up saying that if Jey chooses him, he will force Gunther into a position where he needs to find something to gain in this. And if Jey chooses him, every week will be hell, with WrestleMania being the most horrible display of violence this business has ever seen. Gunther ended up saying that he will put Jey down like a deceased dog. So Gunther ended up saying that the good thing is Jey has options. And Gunther ended up advising Jey to consider them. Gunther then dropped the mic. He ended up going to leave the ring, but Jey ended up stopping Gunther. Jey ended up asking Gunther if he's tired. Jey ended up saying that he is tired of everyone telling him what he can and can't be. He ended up saying that he's just a tag team guy, not supposed to be in the main event or even win the Royal Rumble. Jey ended up saying that he is going to Friday Night SmackDown and will talk to Cody Rhodes. Jey ended up saying whoever he chooses, he's walking into WrestleMania as the 2025 Royal Rumble winner. But he guarantees he'll walk out as main event Jey Uso with a championship. So pretty much that was basically that. So Jey Uso will be going to SmackDown on Friday to talk to Cody Rhodes. Whether Jey will face Cody Rhodes for the Undisputed WWE Championship or he will face Gunther for the World Heavyweight Championship at WrestleMania. It's up to Jey Uso to choose, but I like to see Jey Uso get another shot at the World Heavyweight Championship. I'd like to see him get another shot at Gunther at WrestleMania. And WWE, hopefully, if they are going to pull the trigger, have them have Jey Uso win the World Heavyweight Championship at WrestleMania. Who I see Cody facing at WrestleMania? I want to see Cody versus Punk. And have Punk have his WrestleMania moment. So, that's how the way I would book it. Like I said, Jey Uso face Gunther for the World Heavyweight Championship. He gets another shot. And WWE pulls the trigger, puts the title on Jey Uso at WrestleMania. Give Jey Uso his moment. The crowd will erupt at Jey Uso defeating Gunther for the World Heavyweight Championship. And you go with Cody and Punk at WrestleMania for the Undisputed WWE Championship. Have CM Punk be the one to take the title off of Cody and give Punk his WrestleMania moment there in Las Vegas. But overall, very good opening to Monday Night Raw here. Jey Uso got the respect that he deserved from the crowd, and really loved that the crowd gave Jey a standing ovation, which he rightfully deserves after, win the Rumble on Saturday. Which a lot of people are like, oh, why did Jey Uso win the Rumble? But I have no problem with it. It was unexpected, and I thought it was a good choice for Jey Uso to win it. Then we saw a video of what we saw on the Royal Rumble post show, where John Cena ended up announcing that he will be in the Elimination Chamber. He ended up saying after 23 years, he feels that opportunity is earned. He ends up saying that he will win the Elimination Chamber and go to WrestleMania to win his record-breaking 17th World Championship. Cena ends up saying that he's doing it not for himself, but to shake hands with the person who breaks that record. So there you go, John Cena officially in the Men's Elimination Chamber. And then we had the first match of the night, Penta, El Cero Miedo. He ended up taking on Ludwig Kaiser. And I thought this was a very good match here. WWE has doing a good job building up Penta here. Penta is, over with the crowd. So the match got on the way. Both Kaiser and Penta end up locking up. Kaiser powered Penta into the corner. Kaiser ended up pretending to give a clean break to Penta. He then started punching Penta down. Kaiser started stomping away at Penta. He then ended up sending Penta into the ropes. Kaiser then lowered his head, and he ate a kick from Penta. Penta then caught Kaiser with a head scissors takeover. He then ended up knocking Kaiser down the corner. Penta ended up going for a handstand into a snap drop kick, but Kaiser got up, and he kicked Penta in the head. Kaiser then ripped at Penta's face, and he ended up saying that he'll embarrass Penta in front of the world. Penta then quickly popped up, and he sent Kaiser over the top rope. Kaiser angrily got to the ring apron, so Penta ended up striking Kaiser. Penta ended up going for a springboard attack, but Kaiser punched Penta out of midair. Kaiser then connected with a rolling Death Valley driver on the apron, which looked crazy. And then Monday Night Raw went to commercial. Then when Monday Night Raw came back from the commercial, Penta ended up ducking a pair of clotheslines from Kaiser, but Kaiser ended up quickly taking Penta down. He then ended up hitting a running forearm to the back of Penta's neck, and Kaiser continued to punch away at Penta. Kaiser then connected with a short arm clothesline. He ended up going for the cover, to which Penta kicked out. Kaiser then ended up kicking Penta in his chest, but Penta was like to Kaiser, "Oh, give me more." So Kaiser ended up, just kicking Penta in his chest, but that just fired Penta up. Those kicks from Kaiser just fired up Penta. Kaiser then ended up mocking the Cero Miedo from Penta. Penta was begging for more, and he clotheslined Kaiser. Penta started chopping away at Kaiser. Kaiser then ended up sending Penta to the corner. Penta then delivered a backstabber to Kaiser. He ended up going for the cover, to which Kaiser ended up kicking out. So, in the end, we had Kaiser end up countering a leapfrog with a rolling senton to Penta. He ended up going for the cover. Penta kicked out. Kaiser was very furious. He was setting up for the swinging DDT, but Penta countered out of that. Kaiser then elbowed Penta in the head, but Penta took Kaiser down, and he ended up hitting the sacrifice to Kaiser. Always loved seeing Penta with the sacrifice move, where he ends up breaking his opponent's arms. So Penta then followed up the sacrifice with the Penta driver, and he ended up going for the cover, and there you go. Penta ended up winning the match. Post-match, Jackie Redmond got into the ring to interview Penta. She ended up saying that Penta remains undefeated on Monday Night Raw. Penta then ended up going to speak, but he was then interrupted by Pete Dunne. So Pete Dunne ended up heading to the ring, which that led to Kaiser attacking Penta from behind. Kaiser then ended up hitting the swinging DDT on Penta. Kaiser then walked by Pete Dunne, and he sneered at Pete Dunne. And pretty much that was basically that. Overall, very good match between Penta and Kaiser here. WWE continues to build up Penta great. And it's always entertaining when we see, Penta come out there. And then we went to the Judgment Day Clubhouse. And we saw Finn Balor. Finn Balor ended up bursting into the clubhouse. He ended up saying that he was gone for 2 weeks following a brutal street fight. He ended up saying only to come back with everything falling apart. Balor then got in Dominic's face, and he accused Dominic of stealing his Tag Team Championship rematch and also getting JD McDonough injured. To which props, for JD McDonough. He is, okay. He suffered broken ribs and a punctured lung after he ended up hitting his neck on the edge of the commentary table last week. So, McDonough will be out for, a few months. But McDonough's all right. So Liv Morgan then quickly interrupted Balor. Morgan ended up saying that things may look bad, but she'll qualify for the Elimination Chamber tonight and get things back on track. So pretty much that was basically that. You had Carlito back there, to which Carlito, I feel like, is the third wheel in the Judgment Day Clubhouse, as, what they are making him out to be, because all you just see is Dominic and Raquel Rodriguez, Liv Morgan, and Finn Balor, and Jade McDonough, and Carlito is just there. Oh, God. We get to this. We get to Charlotte Flair. Oh, great. Oh, great. Charlotte Flair is the 2025 Women's Royal Rumble winner. Does she need to win the Royal Rumble? No. Why is it that WWE still continues to push Charlotte Flair and have her just not earn an opportunity for the title? They just easily give her a pass. Okay, you're put back in the title picture. You don't have to have an opportunity to face somebody to get a championship shot. Here's your pass. It is absolutely fucking disgusting how this woman gets everything handed to her. And she politics her way back into a title picture. I swear, Charlotte Flair winning the Royal Rumble this year felt like a Vince McMahon move. Vince probably called up Triple H and said, "Oh, well, Hunter, I want you to have Charlotte Flair be this year's Women's Royal Rumble winner. I want you to take a page out of my book because, I love Charlotte Flair. I pushed her to the moon, pal. And now I want you to do it, my favorite son-in-law." And then Triple H is probably like to Vince, "Okay, Vince, whatever you say. Whatever you say. I'll take a page out of your book. I'll make Charlotte Flair win the Women's Royal Rumble this year to make you happy. Because I know if I didn't make Charlotte Flair win this year, I know you'd be probably pissed." Then Vince is like, "You're damn right, pal." Yeah. This Charlotte Flair winning felt like something Vince McMahon would do. And I thought Triple H would not book this. But new regime, same old shit with Charlotte Flair. Absolutely fucking awful. I just can't stand this woman being handed everything without having to get an opportunity to face somebody so she could get that championship opportunity. Here's a pass. You're put back in the title picture. Oh. And then we have Charlotte Flair come out here. Charlotte Flair the response that she got from the crowd was very lukewarm. Some people cheered, some people booed, and from the people booing, I applaud you. I applaud you for the people in attendance booing Charlotte Flair. People thought that Jey Uso win the Men's Royal Rumble was a problem. This was a problem here with Charlotte Flair winning. Why isn't anybody bitching about this? But they're bitching about Jey Uso win the Men's Royal Rumble. This segment was awful here. Charlotte Flair got on the mic. She kept saying a year and a half ago she'd have been bothered by the boos. She kept saying that she missed the people. Well, we didn't miss you. She kept saying that it has been a year and 2 months. She kept saying that she missed the people booing and the people who loved her. She kept saying last year sucked. She kept saying up until last year she thought she was unbreakable. And that last year broke her mentally and physically. And the crowd was booing her, and you could tell that she was pissed off about those boos. But news came out that Charlotte Flair and Andrade have divorced. So that's sad, though. So Charlotte ended up saying that there were times she thought her knee would never get better. So she's doing this whole sob story and getting the fans to feel bad for her. There were times that my knee would never get better, I thought. So she ended up saying that whether they're booing or wooing doesn't change the fact that she's the greatest WWE superstar in the history of this industry. Oh, Charlotte Flair. She's some comedian. The greatest superstar in the history. She's not the greatest, in my opinion. She might be a good wrestler, but the way how WWE ends up pushing her, she's just very overrated, in my opinion. So Charlotte ended up telling the crowd to boo her. She ended up saying that this is her passion. She's like, this is my passion. I want to be the very best in the ring. When I was able to walk that aisle and punch my ticket to WrestleMania. Yeah, whole sob story that Charlotte was doing in the segment. Last year broke me mentally and physically. Oh. Yeah. The whole sob story from Charlotte there, trying to get the fans to get to feel bad for her. Well, that didn't work out. So she got interrupted by Rhea Ripley. So Rhea Ripley came out. Of course, Charlotte ended up facing Rhea Ripley at WrestleMania 36 for the NXT Women's Championship. Yeah, when Charlotte Flair was the NXT Women's Champion. We all want to forget about that. And of course, Charlotte won that match. Now, of course, Rhea Ripley beat Charlotte for the SmackDown Women's Championship at WrestleMania 39. So Charlotte ended up smiling as Rhea Ripley got into the ring. Sami ended up circling around Charlotte. Charlotte ended up saying that she was trying to have a moment with Cleveland. So Rhea Ripley was like to Charlotte, I'm sorry, this is my show. And she ended up saying now there's the possibility that they will go to war again. Rhea ended up saying that when you go to war with someone, that's when you respect them the most. Rhea Ripley ended up saying that she does respect Charlotte. And Rhea ended up asking Charlotte to pick her as her WrestleMania opponent. So Rhea ended up saying that the last time they faced each other at WrestleMania, she ended up beating Charlotte. So Charlotte ended up admitting that happened. But Charlotte then reminded Rhea that she beat her the first time they faced at WrestleMania. To which Rhea ended up saying to Charlotte, "Oh, I was just a kid back then." Charlotte ended up saying that she has nothing but time. She ended up saying tomorrow she's going to go to NXT to see if Julia inspires her. Oh, great! More Charlotte. We got to see her tomorrow. She ended up saying that she'll go to SmackDown on Friday. Great! A whole week we got to see Charlotte on TV. If that is not overexposure, then please say I'm wrong. She comes back at the Royal Rumble, and all of a sudden now, she's being overexposed. So she says she'll go to SmackDown on Friday to see if Tiffany Stratton inspires her. Charlotte ended up saying that she wants to feel inspired. She ended up saying that Rhea Ripley jumped the gun and was impatient. She ended up saying that she knows Rhea Ripley is still just a kid. So Charlotte ended up saying to Rhea, "See you next week." So Rhea Ripley ended up saying that Charlotte does not respect her the way she respects her. So Rhea begged Charlotte to pick her so she can beat the respect into her. So pretty much that was basically that. This whole segment was a fucking disaster. Awful. Charlotte coming off as robotic as all hell, stiff, and her interaction with Rhea Ripley did nothing for me. We got to buy this whole sob story with Charlotte Flair. So great, now we're going to see Charlotte Flair tomorrow on NXT and Friday on SmackDown. Fucking great. So that's my whole rant on Charlotte Flair and her winning the Women's Royal Rumble this year. And then we saw Jackie Redmond. Jackie Redmond was backstage with Sami Zayn. Redmond ended up saying that Sami Zayn had a rough Royal Rumble when his friend Jey Uso eliminated him. And now he's facing Punk in an Elimination Chamber qualifying match. So Sami Zayn ended up saying that he thought Saturday was his moment. But it didn't happen. And then now he'll find another way. So Sami Zayn walked over to Jey Uso. Jey ended up saying to Sami Zayn that he wasn't aiming for him. So Jey ended up apologizing for eliminating Sami. But Sami ended up hugging Jey. So Sami was fired up and happy that Jey won the Royal Rumble when no one thought he could. So Jey ended up telling Sami to punch his ticket to WrestleMania in the Elimination Chamber. So Jey then walked off, and Karrion Kross walked up to Sami Zayn. Kross ended up asking when Sami will have enough of watching everyone surpass him. Sami Zayn ended up saying to Kross that he is not interested in what he is selling. So Kross ended up saying that he can be a problem if Sami wants. So there you go. That was basically that. And then as Monday Night Raw came back from the commercial, we saw Rhea Ripley. Rhea Ripley was walking backstage, and she saw Io Sky sitting on a road crate. Io ended up saying to Rhea, "Maybe I will see you at WrestleMania." So Rhea then ended up saying, "Maybe." So Io walked off, and she then got blindsided by Liv Morgan. Liv Morgan started beating down on Io. Liv started kicking away at Io. Rhea Ripley then scared Liv Morgan off. And so out of nowhere, Raquel Rodriguez then pounced Rhea Ripley over the road crate. Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez end up laughing at both Io and Rhea Ripley, and they end up walking off. So that was basically that. And then we went to the New Day, Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods. They ended up facing Rey Mysterio and Dragon Lee. The New Day ended up getting a new entrance and a new theme, which the new theme for the New Day is awful. Absolutely awful in my opinion. But this was a decent match here. Xavier Woods and Dragon Lee end up starting off the match. Dragon Lee, from what I've seen, is the Speed champion, which Speed is on Twitter, X, every Wednesday. I mean, who watches Speed? I didn't even know that Dragon Lee was a Speed champion. So both Woods and Dragon Lee end up locking up. Dragon Lee end up applying a side headlock on Woods. Kofi then blind tagged in. He up sweeping Dragon Lee's feet. Woods then dropped an elbow. Kofi ended up hitting a slingshot stomp to Dragon Lee. Kofi then whipped Dragon Lee into the corner, and he charged at Dragon Lee, but Dragon Lee ended up avoiding Kofi. Dragon Lee ended up shouldering and kneeing Kofi back, and Dragon Lee ended up coming off the top rope with a diving cross body block to Kofi. Dragon Lee then ended up hitting a running hurricanrana to Kofi. He then knocked Kofi down the corner and ended up hitting a slingshot corner drop kick. He then went for the cover, to which Kofi kicked out. Ray then tagged in. Ray and Dragon Lee ended up taking Kofi down with some strikes. We had Ray end up going for the cover, to which Dragon Lee kicked out. Kofi then ended up quickly powering Ray into the corner. So Xavier Woods and Kofi Kingston ended up double teaming up on Ray with some strikes. We had Xavier Woods end up whipping Ray hard into the corner, but Ray ended up leaping over Woods and ended up hitting a hurricanrana. We had Logan Paul end up coming out. Logan Paul ended up heading down to the ring, and Kofi ended up using the distraction to pull Dragon Lee off the top rope by his mask. Rey Mysterio was standing on the steps. He was looking at Logan Paul, which he's going to be facing Logan Paul next week in an Elimination Chamber qualifying match. And so Ray was just standing there like, huh? Just looking at Logan Paul. And that led to Xavier Woods pushing Ray off the steps, knocking him into the barricade. So I thought that was stupid there. Ray just standing there like, and then all of a sudden Xavier Woods pushes Ray off the ring steps. So then as Monday Night Raw came back from the commercial, we had Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods. They were dominating on Dragon Lee. Logan Paul was seated at ringside. Kofi then came off the top rope with a diving club to Dragon Lee's head. He ended up going for the cover, so Dragon Lee ended up kicking out. We had Kofi end up mounting some punches at Dragon Lee. Kofi then ended up putting Dragon Lee on the apron and kneed Dragon Lee in the face. Dragon Lee was dangling on the middle rope. Woods then tagged in. He leapt onto Dragon Lee. Dragon Lee got to his feet and he delivered a chop to Xavier Woods. Woods ended up sending Dragon Lee into the ropes for a clothesline, but Dragon Lee countered into a sit-out powerbomb. We had later on Rey Mysterio end up coming in. Ray ended up hitting her Karana into the ropes to Kofi. He then hit the ropes with a 619, but Woods pulled Kofi out of the ring. Logan Paul got in Ray's face. Ray then shoved Logan Paul down. Kofi then ended up grabbing Ray, but Ray ended up sending Kofi into the ring post. Ray then avoided a kick from Xavier Woods, and he slammed Woods' leg into the ring post. Dragon Lee then ended up crushing Xavier Woods with a hurricanrana off the apron down to the floor, which was cool. So Ray got into the ring. Logan Paul pulled Ray out. He ended up slamming Ray onto his chest at ringside. Logan Paul then put Ray in the ring, and the ref didn't see any of this happening. So Kofi ended up hitting Ray with the Trouble in Paradise. He went for the cover, and there you go. The New Day ended up winning the match. Overall, decent match it was here. So then we saw a video of this past Saturday at the Royal Rumble where Seth Rollins ended up vicious attacking Roman Reigns and CM Punk after all three of them were eliminated at the same time. You saw Rollins going crazy out there. So Rollins ended up hitting Reigns with a stomp on the floor, and he ended up hitting a stomp to Reigns on one of the steel steps. And that led to Michael Cole announcing that Roman Reigns will be out for the foreseeable future. So, looks like they have Roman Reigns off TV until WrestleMania. And then we saw Kathy Kelly. Kathy Kelly was backstage with CM Punk. Punk ended up saying to Kathy Kelly that the silver lining of him not winning the Royal Rumble is that Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins didn't either. Punk then apologized to Sami Zayn's fans because he will beat him. He ended up saying that the pressure is on, but he always rises to the occasion. There you go. That was what Punk had to say. And then we had Io Sky versus Liv Morgan. Elimination Chamber qualifying match. This was surprisingly a solid match here between these two. Both women lasted well over an hour in the Women's Rumble this year, which is great on them. A lot of people were like, Io should have won the Women's Royal Rumble, and I agree. I think that Io should have won the Women's Royal Rumble instead of fucking Charlotte Flair. So the match ended up getting away. Liv Morgan quickly retreated from Io Sky. Io Sky ended up following Liv Morgan to ringside, and she ended up bouncing Morgan off the barricade a few times. Io then ended up getting Liv in the ring. She ended up blocking a kick from Liv and started punching away at her. Io ended up connecting with a flapjack, which was followed by a basement drop kick to Liv. Io ended up going for the cover, to which Liv kicked out. Io ended up sending Liv into the corner and started charging at her, but Liv Morgan ended up double stomping Io down. She ended up going for the cover, to which Io ended up kicking out. So Liv ended up clubbing away at Io's back and sent her to the corner for a running back elbow. Liv Morgan then followed up with a running knee to Io's face, and she delivered a basement drop kick. She ended up going for the cover, to which Io ended up kicking out. We had later on, Liv Morgan ended up kicking Io Sky down. Liv Morgan ended up hitting the Three Amigos, like, Eddie Guerrero, of course. And she did Eddie Guerrero's shimmy. So Io ducked a kick from Liv Morgan, and she forearmed Liv down. We had Io end up hitting a pair of clotheslines to Liv, which was followed by a drop kick. Liv ended up sending Io into the corner, but Io slipped through the ropes. Io then snapped Liv Morgan off the top rope, and she ended up hitting a missile drop kick. We had later on, Io sized Liv Morgan up. She ended up charging for the bullet train, but Liv Morgan moved out of the way. We had Raquel Rodriguez end up interfering in the match, where we had Io end up kicking Liv Morgan in her chest to take her down. Io headed to the top rope. Raquel Rodriguez distracted Io, which that gave Liv Morgan to knock Io to the apron, and she went for a sunset flip powerbomb to the floor, but Io held the ropes. Io ended up kicking Liv Morgan away. She ended up going for the side moonsault, but Liv Morgan pulled her down. Io then ended up hitting Liv Morgan with a German suplex on the floor. Io ended up going to the apron, and she connected with the side moonsault onto Liv Morgan. We had Io end up hitting the bullet train to Liv Morgan. She ended up going up to the top rope. Raquel Rodriguez distracted her again, but Io ended up scaring Raquel away. Io ended up going for over the moonsault to Liv Morgan, but Liv Morgan got her knees up. Liv Morgan ended up going for an attack, but Io ended up taking her down. So this led to Rhea Ripley coming out. Rhea Ripley ended up attacking Raquel Rodriguez. Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez ended up attacking, of course, Rhea Ripley backstage earlier. So Rhea ended up stomping away at Raquel. Liv Morgan then grabbed at Rhea Ripley's hair. So Rhea Ripley punched Liv Morgan in the face. The ref ended up seeing that, and the ref called for the bell. So Liv Morgan won the match by disqualification. So she is now in the Elimination Chamber. So, post-match, Rhea Ripley was disgusted by what just happened. Rhea Ripley was apologizing to Io. Io was yelling at Rhea, and she walked off. Pretty much that was basically that. So, then they announced what we're going to see next week on Raw, where it's going to be Lyra Valkyria versus Bayley in Elimination Chamber qualifying match. And of course, Logan Paul will take on Rey Mysterio in a Elimination Chamber qualifying match. So it's all going to be on next week's Monday Night Raw. And then we saw Cathy Kelley. Cathy Kelley was backstage with the War Raiders, the World Tag Team Champions, Eric and Ivar. She kept asking them what's next for the both of them. Ivar ended up telling Cathy Kelley that Jay McDonough has a new level of respect from them. Eric ended up saying that no one knows what returning from an injury is like. So this led to Chad Gable and American Made walking up to the War Raiders. And they ended up saying that they are not championship material. Gable ended up saying that his boys, the Creed brothers, will wrestle circles around them. So Ivar ended up telling them to be prepared to go to war for the titles. So then they ended up walking off. Gable ended up saying that he has to go away for a bit to learn the dark arts of Lucha Libre. Gable ended up saying that when he returns, he wants to see American Made with the Tag Team Championship. So that was basically that. And then we saw Cathy Kelley. Cathy Kelley was with Adam Pearce. She ended up saying that Adam Pearce has a massive announcement. Adam Pearce ended up saying that the transfer window has closed. So he had to work hard to make one more move. So Adam Pearce ended up announcing that Monday Night Raw now has AJ Styles. So that's good. Moving AJ Styles to Monday Night Raw, good move. AJ Styles made his return at the Royal Rumble on Saturday. It was great to see him come back after he has been out with that injury. So Braun Breaker ended up walking up. Braun Breaker ended up warning Adam Pearce to keep Styles away from him. Breaker ended up saying that he wants to know what's next for him, because that doesn't seem to matter to Adam Pearce. Adam Pearce then ended up saying that he respects Breaker and the Intercontinental Championship. Breaker ended up saying that he wants to talk business. So that was basically that. So good move. AJ Styles is now on Monday Night Raw. Now we had Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins was in the ring. He was wearing a black trench coat and a cowboy hat. He ended up saying that he has a lot to talk about. He ended up saying some things they'll love and some things they'll hate. He ended up saying that he wants to talk about Jey Uso first, winning the Royal Rumble, and how he punched his ticket to WrestleMania. He ended up saying that he is happy for Jey and is proud of him. Rollins ended up saying that he likes to see good things happen to good people. He then ended up saying that he loves it when people get what they deserve. He ended up saying that brings him to CM Punk. Rollins ended up saying that Punk lost the Royal Rumble, and his future for WrestleMania is still up in the air. He ended up saying that he loves to see a scumbag piece of trash and embarrassment get embarrassed at the Royal Rumble by getting eliminated by an idiot like Logan Paul. Rollins then ended up saying, as for Roman Reigns, the OTC lost the Royal Rumble. And he ended up saying that Reigns may not make it to WrestleMania at all, and that the updates have been vague. And Rollins ended up saying that he will admit the truth. He ended up saying that Roman is hurt. Rollins ended up saying that he knows because he's the one who hurt him. He ended up saying for the past 4 years, Roman has done nothing but hurt those close to him. He ended up saying that Reigns would have done the same thing to him if given the chance. He ended up saying that Reigns and Paul Heyman love to talk about their limited schedule. So Rollins ended up saying that he did them a favor. He ended up saying that he has saved the best for last. Rollins ended up saying that he lost the Royal Rumble, and that it hurts, but it's in the past. He ended up saying that there is a future that lies ahead, and that there are many different paths to WrestleMania. Rollins ended up saying that his path goes to the Elimination Chamber. He ended up saying that in a few weeks, he'll battle Finn Balor in a qualifying match. Rollins ended up saying that there is a man who needs to take care of business tonight, and that man is Sami Zayn. So Rollins ended up saying that he has some things he wants to tell Sami Zayn about. So Sami Zayn came out, he got into the ring. Rollins ended up saying that Sami is his guy, and that they've had a tough few months. He ended up saying that the past is the past, and the future is in front of him. He ended up saying that Sami Zayn's immediate future is CM Punk. Rollins ended up saying that the world knows he hates CM Punk. He ended up saying what the world doesn't know is how much Sami Zayn hates Punk. So Rollins ended up saying that Sami put on a good face when the time is right. But tonight is not the night for a good face. He ended up saying tonight is the night for the fight of Sami's life. Rollins ended up saying that 2 weeks ago, Punk said Sami wasn't on his level. He ended up saying that this delusional narcissist said Sami wasn't on his level. Rollins ended up saying that Sami is a WrestleMania main eventer, and that he isn't on Punk's level. He's levels above. Rollins ended up saying that he needs Sami Zayn's best to keep Punk out of the Elimination Chamber. He ended up saying people like Punk who don't care about this place, the people, or the company, doesn't deserve to be in the ring with Sami Zayn. He ended up saying tonight is the night for Sami Zayn to put Punk's WrestleMania dreams in the dirt. And Rollins ended up saying that he cannot wait to see Sami Zayn in the Elimination Chamber. So Rollins ended up walking off. Sami Zayn was shown pacing in the ring. Rollins ended up shouting to Sami Zayn. So CM Punk's music ended up hitting. Rollins then turned to see CM Punk headed to the ring. Rollins ended up removing his jacket. He charged up the ramp. Refs ended up running down to keep Punk and Rollins apart. So they ended up going after each other, but they were then being held back by the refs. And pretty much that was basically that. But overall, this was a good segment here with Rollins out there. Showing his love of Jey Uso, win the Royal Rumble. Him talking about CM Punk. Then we had the main event. Sami Zayn versus CM Punk. Elimination Chamber qualifying match. Very good main event this was. Very entertaining. So the match got underway. Both Sami Zayn and Punk end up locking up. This is the first time that Sami Zayn and Punk were going at it. So Sami ended up whipping Punk off. Punk then shoulder tackled Sami. He ended up going for the cover, to which Sami kicked out. So they end up locking up again. Sami Zayn ended up hooking a side headlock on Punk. Punk whipped Sami off, but Sami Zayn ended up shoulder tackling Punk. He ended up going for the cover, to which Punk kicked out. Sami then ended up hitting a headlock takeover on Punk. Punk then ended up hitting a headlock takeover on Sami Zayn. He tried to transition that into an Anaconda Vice, but Sami Zayn got to his feet on the bottom rope. Sami then ended up shoving Punk, and he then slapped him. So both guys locked up again. Sami then ended up slapping Punk again. He ended up digging his forearm into Punk's face. Punk then turned Sami Zayn around, ended up chopping him. Sami Zayn fired back with some chops and a forearm to Punk's face. Punk then twisted Sami Zayn's arm to counter a whip, and he ended up snapping off his shoulder. Punk then ended up driving his shoulder into Sami Zayn's, and then he ended up chopping Sami Zayn's chest. Punk then chopped Sami in the corner. He ended up twisting Sami's injured arm around the top rope. Sami started fighting back with some punches and some chops to Punk. Sami Zayn then ended up hitting a springboard leapfrog over Punk, and he clotheslined Punk down. Sami then ended up chopping Punk. He then bounced him off the top turnbuckle. Sami started wildly punching away at Punk's head. We had Sami Zayn climb to the top rope, and he delivered a superplex to Punk off the top, which was great. So then Monday Night Raw went to commercial. Then when Monday Night Raw came back from the commercial, Punk was in control of the match. He continued to work over Sami Zayn's injured arm. Sami Zayn started to fight back with a tornado DDT to Punk. Sami then tried to turn Punk over for a pin, but Sami's arm was injured. Sami Zayn ended up pulling him up, and he ended up going for the Blue Thunder Bomb, but Punk ended up elbowing out of that. Punk ended up going for the go to sleep, but Sami Zayn ended up avoiding that. Punk then got out of a Blue Thunder Bomb attempt again by Sami Zayn, and he ended up attacking Sami Zayn in the corner. Punk then ended up hitting a high knee in the corner. He ended up going for the Bulldog to Sami, but Sami countered that, and he finally hit the Blue Thunder Bomb on Punk. He ended up going for the cover, to which Punk kicked out. So, at the end of the match, we had Punk ended up pulling himself to his feet. Sami ended up charging for the Ludwig kick to Punk, but Punk countered with the GTS. We had Punk end up going for the cover, and there you go. Punk ended up winning the match, and he is going to the Elimination Chamber. So CM Punk joins Cena in the Elimination Chamber. So Punk then pointed at the WrestleMania sign post-match. Punk looked at Sami down on his knees in the center of the ring. Punk ended up saying that Sami is on his level. And Punk ended up extending his hand to Sami. Sami then ended up shaking Punk's hand. And suddenly, Kevin Owens attacked Sami Zayn from behind. He ended up knocking Sami into Punk. And this led to Kevin Owens end up attacking Sami. And he delivered the pile driver to Sami. And that was how Monday Night Raw went off the air. Overall, very good main event. Very entertaining match between Punk and Sami Zayn here. You know, first time match here between Punk and Sami Zayn here together. But overall, good Monday Night Raw was tonight. Very enjoyable. But anyway, that's it for the Monday Night Raw review. Thank you all for watching. Hope you all enjoyed this review. Definitely give the video a thumbs up, comment, subscribe, and until next video, I'll see you all later.